Oh my gosh. I'm actually doing this. Okay. What's up, everybody? So, okay, I'm doing too much. But anyway, listen, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I don't know where to look. See, I gotta get used to all of this. Like, whatever. Uh, anyway, I'm excited to be here talking to you guys, and thank you for being here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We want to go ahead and get this to 1,000 so that I can go live with you guys, like wherever I'm at. Sorry, there's like a net that got in this damn house. Like, really? I'm trying to film. Stop playing with me. That's how it always is. But anyway, I'm glad to be here with you guys. Like, seriously, this is going to be fun. And again, like I said, if you saw the little video that I put up on my other social media, I don't know where I'm going with this. You know, there's so much that I do, so much that I'm into, so much that I go through, and I'm sure you guys are going through some of the same things. And so I just am excited to take you on this journey with me. If you guys don't know already, I am known as an actress. I was a co-star on a Nickelodeon show called Taina, where I played the role of Maritza. Taina! I know everybody wants me to do that all the time. There you go. But if you don't know, you can YouTube that as well. They're all over YouTube, all the episodes. Everybody asks about a reboot. We'll talk about that in another video. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I invented a product called Grease Bags. And so you can see me on Shark Tank with that product. If you have Hulu, you can check it out on season 8, episode 13. So you can see my pitch on there. And yeah, there's stories attached to that. There will be a Shark Tank story time for sure. So that's another video that'll be coming up. And I'm also a single mom, and, you know, go through those things. My boy is 19 now, though. So he's not a baby anymore, but he's always going to be mommy's baby. Shoot. Anyway, so yeah, we'll talk about all that stuff. And you know, I was getting ready to juice. As you can see, I'm surrounded by vegetables and the juicer. You're probably like, what the hell? No, it's in the morning as well. So I'm in pajamas, and I did, you know, try to put a little something on for you guys. So trying to tone it down. But I'm about to juice because I'm so overwhelmed a lot of times. Like, I feel so sluggish half of the time, I swear. So I'm trying to juice and get myself together and get myself on a regimen, flush out some toxins, all that good stuff. But it made me want to get on here and talk to you guys because I really wanted to talk to you more about my product and about my business and the purpose behind, you know, all of this, and me talking to you guys about composting and my whole movement with grease bags and Bokashi Compost. I have a series running on here as well, where you guys will follow me on the journey of how grease bags are complementary to the whole Bokashi composting process. But it's not just about a grease bag. Honestly, it's something that I think we all should be doing. And I just wanted to kind of use this time to not only introduce myself, but to kind of give you the inside scoop on this whole Bokashi composting thing. And not a lot of us are in this conversation, but I won't say that it's just about us Black folks. It's not, because I think a lot of people don't know about this whole Bokashi composting process. I know I got into it a few years back, and when I was researching it, it's really big in other countries, and we are late as usual here in the United States, and we do things backwards. I feel like here, you know, we are talking about a food shortage. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos where I was outside in my compost bin, Interstellar is one of my favorite movies, right? And it's truthful. It's not fiction. It's the truth. And so in that movie, it speaks on how in the future we may have a food shortage and not be able to grow food because the soil is shit, you know, and scientists are not going to be as valuable as farmers. And so to avoid that, if we start to do better now, you know, we can sort of turn things around. And so I really like that movie. If you guys haven't seen it, please check it out. It's long, but you will stay involved in it. Trust me. And every time I watch it over and over, every time I watch it, I learn something new. But that's besides the point. We'll talk about that when you guys watch it. But anyway, there's such simple solutions to things sometimes, and I think sometimes we take the long route. And that's how I came up with grease bags. It was that I was a home cook, and I had a lot of grease accumulating in my kitchen. I was feeding my boys, playing football at the time, and I'm cooking all the time, trying to save money. But I lived in a 3-story apartment where my trash was picked up, but the grease became a problem. And so these valet trucks were just throwing bags of trash on the back of the truck. And my grease was in a coffee can, tied up in a lot of plastic bags like most people do. And it was still leaking. And I lived in a pretty nice apartment at the time. And the rodents started coming around. I'm talking about I opened up my door, y'all. It was one like this big that ran past my door. Like, I almost died. Stop playing with me. I almost died. Like, I don't do rats. I could do a snake before I could do rats. It's something about them. I cannot. Oh, just a thought. Okay. Whew. Let me get myself together. Yes, because I just replayed the whole thing in my head, and it was horrifying. Let me tell you something. So, needless to say, management put a note on my door, and they were like, look, you got to do something different with this grease now. And so in the cold, I'm already, having to walk the dogs and do all that type of stuff. So, either me or my son Soldier would have to take these extra containers to another, receptacle to throw them away, blah, blah, blah. And so, years ago, me and my brother, we're kind of like brainiacs in a sense where we will just troubleshoot things, everyday things in life. Like, why isn't there something for this? Why isn't there something for that? So we entertained the idea of why isn't there something better for grease disposal years ago. And of course came up with a lot of complicated solutions, but I revisited the idea and I was like, there's got to be something. And so upon the research, of course, I found nothing. So I was like, well, damn it, I'm going to do it myself. And so I did a lot of research, and I said, I was always a Shark Tank fanatic. So I said, if I come up with an idea that is worthy of Shark Tank, I'm going to take it there. And so grease bags was that thing. And again, I'll get into the whole Shark Tank story at a later date. This damn gnat is annoying me. If you see him flying past, listen. Now, go somewhere. I had my door open, my patio door, because my dogs were out there. And so that's where he came from, I believe. But anyway, it's morning time, so I got my coffee, y'all. But where was I? So, okay, so yeah. So I said I was going to take a worthy idea to Shark Tank, which I did. Again, that's another video. But upon my research, another thing happened, and I realized that there's a huge problem when it comes to grease disposal. And I was like, I didn't know that all this was going on. And, I say this in my pitch on Shark Tank, but, long story short, cities are wasting, and I say wasting because we could do better, and it's simple to do better, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year on improper grease disposal, because sewage lines and pipelines get backed up and fatbergs form because of fat soils and grease, and we just can't be pouring it down the drain. Even a little bit is too much. And nobody cares until the sewage backs up into your house. I mean, it's happened in Queens and Brooklyn, and especially around the holidays. Oh my gosh, like Thanksgiving and stuff, and people doing all that cooking. All you have to do is Google it if you don't believe me. Like, this is a huge problem. And the problem really is that people aren't educated, and they don't understand that you can't be pouring grease down the drain or in the toilet or none of that. And I do a lot of interviews and stuff where people are like, I just didn't know, and so even if you don't use a grease bag, guys, just don't pour your grease down the drain. Not only, do we have the pipeline replacements and the contamination from, sewage backups coming into your house, and in these pandemic times, nobody wants that. We don't want that anyway, but especially not now. The water, what I'm saying? Like, we're contaminating our water until you have a situation like Flint, and I think that was Jackson, Mississippi, that happened. That their water got contaminated recently. Like, it's just so many things that can happen because of improper grease disposal that we can just avoid. Simply avoid. And also, what people will ask is, why would I use a grease bag versus a container? For instance, like a coffee can, and I just told you a story about how that worked out. But It's also a waste problem happening in this country. Like landfills are overflowing, and the methane gases that are emitted from these massive, like, pieces of land that are piled up with garbage is polluting the air. And so there's problem after problem. They're layering on top of each other, and we cannot recycle or repurpose containers, glass jars, coffee cans, none of that, if we're putting grease in them. And also, you know, if you're going to do that, you might as well take it to a facility that is converting that grease into green energy, bioenergy. You know, there's so many things that we need, you know, resource wise, that we have access to that we're not taking advantage of. So again, it's not just about buying a grease bag. A lot of times they do have these facilities that will retrieve your grease. For residents, it's not as what am I trying to say? There's not as many, it's not as available. That's what I meant to say. It's not as available to residents as it is to commercial businesses. You know, like McDonald's and Burger King, they have these big vats out in the back that trucks come by and pick up all this grease at once. And so again, mom and pop restaurants or food trucks or something like that might be interested in using grease bags, but I have my area, you know, and what the commercial guys are doing is fabulous. We need that resource too. We need green energy. But there's also other things called anaerobic digesters that take food scraps and convert them into energy as well. I actually I have a contract with the city of La Habra in California. They have a anaerobic digester in their community. They take food scraps, put them in the digester, and they provide energy for that community. And so I'm not sure if it's free to their residents, but I'm sure it's much more cost efficient. And it's a renewable energy source. And, you know, a grease bag only contributes to that in a number of different ways. There's a whole science behind the structure of a grease bag that I will not get into right now either. That's another video. So as you can see, I have a lot of content in my head and I don't want to fill up this video with too much. But the reason why I'm surrounded by all my vegetables here is because I really wanted to emphasize the whole waste reduction thing today. And I talked a little bit about Bokashi composting. It's something I'm very passionate about. I do not know why everybody is not using this composting method. I mean, I don't know why we're all not doing it in general, but especially people that compost. Like the Bokashi composting method to me is like the holy grail of composting. And the reason why I say that is that everything can go into this pretty much. You know, the only thing that you don't want to put into the Bokashi bucket are big pieces. So you want to take something like this carrot and chop it down, or a big piece of like an apple or something. You want to chop it down. And you don't want to put food that's already rotting in there, because there are basically microbes and bacteria, good bacteria, that's in the Bokashi brand, and it's called lactobacillus. I think I said that right. Anyway, and you don't want those things competing, you know. So basically, like the mold that's already on the food that you might put in there might outcompete the microorganisms in the brand, and you don't want that to happen. There's a natural fermenting process that happens in this bucket. When you put the scraps in here, you want to mash them down so you get all the air out, and then you want to layer it with the brand. And you don't want to keep opening this bucket all the time. So you might want to get enough food scraps, if you don't have a lot every day, in your refrigerator in some kind of container. Keep them in there to keep them from just going bad, and then put them in the container when you have enough. And then you get this little white mold in about a week or so in this bucket, and that's a good thing. That means it's going well, and you're basically pickling the food scraps. And you can put cooked food in here: dairy, cheese, grease, fats, oils, and grease, basically. Coffee filters and the coffee grinds, of course, eggshells, the containers, the egg cartons, the bones go in there, the meat goes in there, like I said. So it's one of those things where it's like, we can really reduce a lot of waste using this method. And it's so cool to me. Like, I did not know I was going to get into it the way that I did. I love nature as well. And so my product kind of led me to things that were everything nature, and I'm loving it. You know, I'm such a nerd about it right now. So you never know. Like, that's what they say, your passions lead to your purpose, and I'm really finding that out. And again, that is another video, because spiritually, you know, there's a lot going on with me, and a lot that I have to talk about spiritually, and how that ties into even my business and my journey. So yeah, you guys, we have a lot to talk about. I'm so excited though. So excited. So please make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because I plan on uploading a lot of videos and talking about a lot. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I may chop it up into a couple if it's too long, but I really wanted to kind of, you know, get situated with you guys and sort of get acquainted. And for those that don't know me that well or haven't been following me, to sort of get into what I'm into, you know, see if you're into it, basically. You know, if you guys have some suggestions, if there's something you want me to talk more about, or you have an idea for a video, like, please leave the comments. I'm just getting started. I mean, I'm going to get better with my lighting and my equipment and all of that, but I didn't want anything to stop me anymore. You know, I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I'm like, let me just do this already. Like, what? So many people have been telling me I should have done it a long time ago, but it's really been on my heart lately to get on here and just hang out with you guys and share with you guys. And I watch YouTube a lot, and a lot more lately than I did before. And it's so helpful, you know, because I'm a loner, and I'm working on so many different things. A lot of times I'm by myself doing that though. And it's almost like you make friends on YouTube, you know, like I love Marie Forleo. Shout out to Marie. If I mention people, I'm going to try to put the links in the description as well, so you guys can check them out. But everything business, she's also spiritual and funny. But when I was really going through, like, developing my product, trying to get on Shark Tank, trying to formulate my business, it was so comforting to watch her. And it was like I had a friend in Marie. So, and spiritually, the Spirit Doula, shout out to the Spirit Doula. Love you so much, Sister Myra, Black Magic 363, Brother Panic. There's so many different people that I watch. Shanetta, oh my gosh, Shanetta Bug, love you so much. And these are like soul family to me. Like, I'm not one that goes like video after video trying to get readings and all that kind of stuff. But you know what resonates with you when you're on that spiritual path. And so these are people that I consider part of the soul family, and all have, you know, their place. Also Hood Mystic too on the astrology tip. But I'm going to put all the links. But shout out to all of you guys. I know you have seen me in your comments and stuff before on your videos. I've been riding with y'all for a minute. But shout out to the soul family. Love you guys. So we're going to talk about spiritual stuff again too in yet another video. Anyway, so let's get back on this Bokashi thing. So anyway, like I said, everything can go in this bucket. And sometimes, you know, you can't put cooked food, not sometimes. In other composting methods, you can't put cooked food, meat, dairy, and all that kind of stuff in there. So you're pretty limited. You can also add cotton to this. The pad in my bag is organic cotton, and it's the skin of it is an organic cotton. So it's safe to go in there. My bag is completely plant-based, by the way, as well. There's no plastic involved with grease bags. It's plant-based. It's alive, and I designed it so that we can put it right back into the earth. And so that is why I'm showing you guys how it breaks down in the Bokashi bucket. But it's just really cool. And also too, with other composting methods, because it's not a natural process, it is a man-made process, even though it's a good one. There are some drawbacks to like regular hot composting piles that you may have. Say if you have land or farm, and you know, you have a big pile, you'll see the steam coming up from those piles, which is emitting methane gases yet again, same way the landfills are. So this is like kind of like taking care of all of that, because there are no gases coming from this. And even when you're done pickling your food scraps, you're going to go outside, and I'm going to show you guys, you know, that process as well. There's a video up, so you can kind of see my bin of dirt basically outside. But it's so cool. Like 4 to 6 weeks, all these food scraps break down, and you have this rich black compost, rich black soil that is so great for your land. And that is the other benefit of the Bokashi composting method, is that it saves you money. If you have a garden of your own, if you are a farmer, There is also a tea that comes off of this. So as you are building your bucket, you want to make sure you get you extract the tea off of it. As you can see, there's a spout on the bottom. So you want to make sure that you extract that, what they call Bokashi tea or leachate, off of the scraps. And that's a concentrate. So you can add that to like a gallon of water and fertilize your plants. It's also a natural pesticide and keeps disease away from your plants and stuff. And it's amazing. And so it saves you money because you don't have to go run to the store and get soil that's not that great anyway. Also, if, you know, say your own land has like shitty soil, sorry, excuse my French, but you know, it's not very nutrient dense or anything, you can pretty much, you know, reverse that by using this method. And you take the dirt from your land, maybe add some other soil with it if you like, and add the food scraps and create this compost and put it back into your land. There's nothing better for it. You know, it's sort of like when you buy bags of soil from across the country, that soil is not indigenous to your region, so it's not going to be as effective. So, you know, and I've learned this because I watch a lot of farmers and it's part of my research, and I've heard it over and over again that they're just kicking themselves for buying this shitty soil, basically, that they just can't really do anything with, or it's not really doing anything for their land. So it's such a great thing. And if you aren't growing things, maybe your neighbor is. And so you can make this compost and give it to your neighbor. And then when they grow amazing vegetables, maybe they'll share with you. And so that's a whole like barter system happening there. And to me, this solves so many problems with food shortages, with the soil regeneration, and with the waste problem. And then grease bags adds the fact that we're taking care of the grease problem as well. So that is why I'm so passionate about the Bokashi composting process. I am anxious to fill my bucket up because it's not full, but I need to add this to the compost outside, because what I did was I have, you know, normally I'll put a grease bag in this bucket, right? And let it ferment with the rest of the food scraps. It also is grabbing the extra oil so your tea and stuff is not so oily that comes off. But this time I just threw a couple in the compost bin that I have already. And so that one's been out there for a minute. Like it broke down maybe 4 to 6 weeks, couple of pieces. Sometimes you might go to 8 weeks if you got like some bones or stuff in there, or some things that are a little tougher to break down. But it broke down fine. Again, it was in the bucket pickling with the food scraps. And that was when I added, I'm talking about a grease bag. I had added to my food scraps and then to my compost pile outside. I mean, to my soil outside. And it broke down fast. I think it was like 4 weeks or so. And I didn't film it. I didn't even think about it. Like, this is what I do for real. You know what I'm saying? So I was really just composting my grease bag. Like, I really wasn't thinking about filming it. So I don't have that documented, but it broke down completely. Can't even find it. And I got a little lazy with my dirt. I wasn't composting like I should. I was traveling a lot. So I just left it. So that compost has been there for like 2 years now. And so I just got back on it. It's broken down to about half the volume it was, because as it continues to break down, of course, it's going to shrink. So I just threw a grease bag, 2 grease bags in there. I did one that had grease in it and one without grease, so that I could see the difference, because I always have my scientist hat on, and I'm like, let me see exactly how the grease bags are performing. And so the one without the grease broke down in 17 days. It's not completely gone, but it burst completely open, and it looks like rats have been eating it or something. So I'm excited about that one. The other one that's full of grease didn't break down as fast. And I'm not worried about it by any means, but again, I didn't ferment them first in the bucket, and I'm just curious just to see, you know, what happens if you do this, what happens if you do that, whatever. So yeah, so I'm anxious to get these going though, these scraps, and get this bucket full so that I can add it to my compost outside and really get the whole process like moving, you know. And the same way the brand has microbes, so does the absorbent of my grease bag. So they're very complementary to each other, and I'm really, really excited about it. We also just got BPI certified, and that is Biodegradable Product Institute. That's what BPI stands for. So it's what retailers look for. A lot of retailers are moving away from plastic. They don't want plastic products on the shelf anymore. And it's going to take a while for us to get there completely, but there are more and more regulations popping up like that. So they look for the BPI logo to make sure that you are biodegradable, compostable, all that good stuff. So, yeah, I just want everybody to sort of get into composting more. I really, really do. I'm setting up my parents' operation at their house because they are growing a lot in their yard and having some issues with grass growing and buying all these fertilizers that's not really working. So I'm setting them up. So when I go back down to Florida, I will film that for you guys, and then we'll kind of try to follow the progress, you know, so you can see maybe how their grass is growing with the Bokashi tea or, you know, whatever. But also too, you guys might run across a couple of old YouTube channels that are up that I've had. Back in the day, I threw one up and I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought you just put content up there, and I was putting Taina clips and stuff. And, you know, I just thought it was another platform to showcase yourself, basically. And I ended up getting demonetized. I didn't even know about the copyright issues and stuff. So that one is probably still lurking around. You might run across that page. I think it's just LaTangela Newsome that it comes up under. I'm not sure. And I have another page that I primarily use for acting, because sometimes you might have an audition and the casting director will ask you to upload a unlisted YouTube link. So I'll use that page for that. So you might see that. And then I also had a channel with my then boyfriend called LT in DC. And some of you guys might be on here that remember that channel. And that one is still up. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to take it completely down. We abandoned that channel, and we're not together now. It's not why we abandoned the channel. But again, that's another story if you guys are even interested. But so you might run across that channel as well. So, and that one again was called LT in DC, and you can look at the videos if you want. They're not the best. We were just getting started, and we kind of, I don't know, we ran out of gas a little bit on that one, and we'll talk about it if you guys care. So anyway, just so you know, in case you run across these other pages and you're like, what? You know, this is the channel that I'm trying to build. Please share. Please let people know about it. Again, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let me know what you want to hear from me. And you know, I'm here for it, you know, and I'm pretty transparent. I don't know if I'm tell y'all all my business. No, I don't know, Craig. But I might though. Cause see, when I get to talking, like, yeah, I'm pretty transparent. I am. And I really want you guys to follow me on my journey. Like, I'm building my business right now. Like I said, there is so much that I'm going through. I have been out of inventory for grease bags for a while. We had some issues with some damage, and then we sold out of what we had. Then we had the supply issues with COVID like everybody else. And thank you if any of my customers are watching this as well for your patience. I really, really appreciate you guys. I have some great customers that have really been holding on for dear life and waiting for me to get it together. I love you guys so much. And so I'm gearing up for the holidays and a relaunch. We redesigned the bag as well. So I had to, you know, redo some artwork. My co-packer is moving, so I have to find a new facility. Like, I have about 7 weeks to get it together, you guys. Like, seriously, like, these are the real things. And I'm telling you guys this because I know that some of you are entrepreneurs and that you're probably going through some of the same things. I mean, I like to watch The Housewives, and of course, some of the drama is just too much now. Oh my God. We can talk about that too. But but one of the things that I've been appreciating recently is like the conversations that like Sheree and Kenya will have together about the problems and the issues they're having with business. Same thing with Judy on Brett Loves Judy, because it's comforting to see that. I mean, these women have a lot more money than me and a lot more resources than I do, but we're having some of the same issues, and that's comforting to me because I'm hard on myself, you know. And it's just me wearing a lot of hats a lot of times. And so I do need help. I need an assistant. Like, I need air at the moment. And if I had that, I really could handle a lot. But things fall through the cracks, which gives me anxiety. I know I need to be doing this and that. And emails get lost. And, schedules kind of go over my head sometimes. And then I just have regular life. I got 2 dogs. I got 2 Pomeranians, Louie and Shadow. They're 14 years old, and they're both older. I mean, sickly. I'm sorry. Of course, they're older, but they're sickly, and they both have chronic illnesses. So I am nursing them, and just trying to take care of myself in the midst of all of it. And I'm still a mom, even though my son's 19. He calls me all the time, and I still have to be there for him as well. So these are things that I know you guys go through, and I just want to share with you about it, and how staying grounded and my spirituality and everything plays a big part of my life, because I need it. Like it's definitely, if I didn't have that, oh my God, I probably would lose my mind. And then I like to give tips. I cook, so there might be some recipes that you guys might want to see, or that I might want to share with you guys. So I'll do some cooking tutorials. Also, like I said, when I find a bargain, like, look, for instance, let's talk about this real quick. This right here is a juicer, right? It is, what is it? Fusion juicer, Jack LaLanne's Fusion juicer. And I've had this for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years now. But let me tell y'all something. I'm all about a good bargain, okay? And if you have not heard of a spot called Dirt Cheap, you lost. You lost. Telling you, you lost. Look it up. Sorry, it's my dog growling. But anyway, look it up. Shadow girl, come on, man. Really? Anyway, Shadow, come on. People could be outside. Like, you don't own the whole neighborhood. Anyway, so if you have not heard of it, look it up. You may or may not have one in your area. They're not everywhere. I was in Texas at the time, and I had one that was like right next door. Let me tell you something. As a single mom, it was a lifesaver. They have some of everything in there. It's a discount store, kind of like Big Lots, but even better. But there's electronics, there's household things, household items, toiletries. There's a little bit of food in there. Tools, lawn care, automotive stuff, comforters, and appliances. And like I said, this right here, you're not ready though. This is like an $80 juicer, right? I want y'all to guess. Just guess. Take a minute. I'm going to give y'all a second. I want y'all to guess how much I paid for this thing. Let me give you a minute. Just go and sip my coffee while y'all take it. I might as well go and tell y'all, because you're not going to guess. I'm telling you, you're not. $7. No, you heard me right. $7. It's what, like 90% of something like that? I don't know. I'm not good at math, y'all. But yeah. And I'm talking about king size comforters for like $20. I used to get like I had like a small vacuum that was good for my apartment because it was small at the time, for like $8. I think I paid for that. Like, it's stupid. Anything that you need electronically, like USBs and SD cards and like, headphones or phone cases, tripods, different, like, you never know what's going to be in it. And you have to like just kind of grab it when you see it, because you probably don't see it no more. Fire pits for outside. Like, you just never know. It's a great place to get holiday decorations, costumes for your kids. They have some toys in there. Some like shirts, clothing items like t-shirts and socks and maybe some underwear sometimes. But like, really, it was bathing suits. Like, I got the cutest bathing suits and stuff out of there. Like, it's stupid. Like, it was, I miss it so much. There's not one around me. I think the closest one is in Birmingham. I'm in Atlanta. So yeah, I miss it. So yeah, I'm all about it. Look, let me tell y'all something. I'm all about a good bargain. And so I'll give y'all tips and stuff on anything that I find out. I'll take you on shopping hauls with me, or trips that I might take that, I do what I can on a budget, not trying to be out here balling out of control, whatever, when I'm not able to, when the time comes, I guess I will. But at the moment, I am on a budget. And so I will take you guys along that journey as well, because I know a lot of people are, and I'm not ashamed to say that. So, I mean, listen, whatever I'm going through, whatever I got going on, And I'm producing projects as well. I have a reality show project that I'm doing with some of my child star friends, and that's something else we can talk about. I'll tell you guys more about that. Probably bring some of my friends on here as well, and we can have some fun conversations, maybe some Q&A, some tips. I mean, even acting tips, you know, as far as acting one-on-one, and, you know, audition etiquette and how to get an agent. Anything that I can help you guys with, like, we can get on here and talk about and just hang out. You know, it doesn't have to be anything specific. You know, we got relationship issues going on. I know I do. So we can talk about that too. But other than that, you know, I can't wait to hang out with you guys more. I just really wanted to talk to you guys about the whole food scrap thing. Please look it up. You can buy these Bokashi buckets on Amazon and with the brand. You can also make the brand as well. Those are things that I haven't done just yet. Get yourself. It wasn't that expensive. I think the whole setup was like $35 or something. And I love it. I love using it. So just look up. This one is an all seasons indoor composter, but I think there's a few companies that make the Bokashi buckets. Bokashi compost bucket. You can probably look it up either way. But again, once I upload this video, I will try to drop as many links in the description box as I can. I appreciate when other YouTubers do that for me. So I'm going to try to be very thoughtful about those things, because I usually have a lot of information and I want people to actually go follow up, because again, it's very easy. It's very simple. It's very inexpensive. Your trash will be a lot cleaner. And you'll save money even if you're just growing house plants and stuff like that. You know, this is some valuable stuff that we are just throwing away, valuable resources. You know, I'm going to cut off all the ends of this celery and throw it right here in this bucket. I mean, in this pan. And into my bucket it goes. And in about a week or so, I'm going to add it to my compost. And in about 4 weeks after that, all of it should be broken down. It's so fun. It's like magic, y'all. It's just, I promise, like, I love seeing it. It's like magic. It's like, wait a minute. Is it really gone? Like, there's nothing in here. The dirt? Wow. It's so fun. I'm such a nerd. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, guys. I'm going to go ahead and chop up my vegetables here and add these scraps to my bucket. Finish up my coffee. But I will be back with more videos. This is so fun so far. So I'll see you guys next time.